Hello and welcome to Calico Flower Studio. I'm Dani, and it's been a while since I've made one of these videos, so I'm just going to ease myself into it by working on a 2-page spread in my handmade journal. And one of the ways that I like to ease myself into making artwork is through layering. So I'll talk a little bit about that and you'll get to see it. And that's it. I'm just going to bring you into the mind of an artist. Simple as that. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the process. And if you haven't subscribed, then please do. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So please enjoy.
Today I'm going to make in my handmade paper journal. So this journal is made with paper that I pressed myself. So I just took old, junk mail and scrap paper and blended it up into a pulp and created these pages. And then I also sewed them together. So it's kind of special that way. And I'm not quite sure how to start because it's been a long time since I've worked in a journal. So I thought I'd just get something down, some kind of color, some kind of pigment with watercolor. And I love yellow. I'm just drawn to that right now. So we'll just get some yellow and make a mark. Getting started. It's always the hardest part, right? Just getting started. So to make it a little bit easier on myself, I just am giving myself the opportunity to let my mind wander, make some repeated marks. And I honestly don't really know where this is going, but I'm following the flow. Whatever direction. I just make a mark and then I make another mark that is in response to that and just keep going. And this is just the starting point. This is the first layer. And this page will likely have many forms by the time I'm done. If you were to, and you don't have to do this, stay with me, stay here. But if you were to, hypothetically, fast forward to the end of this video, the page that I'm working on now looks completely different. This is just it adds a history to the page because, it's there. It is a layer in the work, but a lot of it you may not see at the end. Some of it will just be peeking through, but it's just a starting point for my mind to loosen up a little bit and just to get started, right? Like I said, starting is the hardest part, so this is my easing into the process. And I'm doing this watercolor as the first layer, and then I'll probably do a different medium as the second layer. And then I'll switch and do another layer of a different medium and just kind of see how things stack up, literally and figuratively. So that's my watercolor layer, nice and thin and soft and just whatever came to mind. So now I'm going to add acrylic paint, a little bit more aggressively. So I got my paintbrushes, my brayer. A brayer is just like a rubber roller that printmakers use. I have my hunks of plastic foam. This is like the stuff that sometimes comes in packaging. Like if you order something, this is the packaging that protects it. And I like to keep it and chop it up into little pieces so I can stamp with it. It's just a different way of applying the paint. That's the same reason I brought the roller. You know, it's like I can apply paint with a brush or with a roller and it looks different. So yeah, that kind of looked abrupt, right? I just kind of rolled that big blotch of green across the middle of the page, but sometimes doing stuff like that is exhilarating, you know? It comes with the territory of creating really layered abstract art. You just have to be at peace with covering things up, like letting things go and just saying goodbye. Because all those marks that I made with the watercolor so carefully, they served their purpose in the moment. You know, it like loosened up my mind and got me relaxed and like eased into the moment. But now it's like, okay, let's jump off of that. And I'm still applying the acrylic paint in some places so that I preserve certain parts of the watercolor. And now I have this whole new image of both the acrylic paint and the watercolor that's peeking through underneath to jump off of for the next layer. So once this dries, I will come back with collage pieces. So I brought some scrappy stiff. I got old hunks of a sketchbook. It has little doodles and illustrations in marker and crayon and pen. Some were old collages that I cut up and repurposed. This one even has a little bit of masking tape on it. But yeah, once again, this, especially with collage, I feel it is a practice in making decisions about what to let go and what to keep. What's worth keeping, what's worth letting go in exchange for this other thing that's on top of it, that's coming next. It's like I'm negotiating with the page, you know. If you give me this, I'll give you that. Take some of this away, add some of this. You can always cover things up too if you like don't like a certain spot. Sometimes I do that if there's like, you know, I'm like, I don't really think that this particular color or area of marks is like exciting me, or it's just not vibing with how I'm feeling right now. I'll just like find a creative way to cover it up. And I'm thinking a lot too about the negative space that I'm creating. So I'm adding these new shapes with the collage, but I'm creating new shapes with the space that's between the collage pieces. It's kind of like a rule of opposing forces, negative space, positive space, you know, for every positive object, for every thing, there is a nothingness around it that also has a shape. right? I had to go grab more collage pieces because I ran out, and I feel like I want more. And I tell you what, man, that is one thing that I am not running low on is collage material. Being a collage artist who has been collecting scraps for years and years and years, it's just a never-ending... My collection is a never-ending trove of treasures that is always growing. Honestly, I have to carve it down sometimes. I gotta like purge things. But I'm excited to use all these pieces here. Like in my sketchbook, I'm kind of gonna make a little bit of a point in this particular book to use pieces that I noticed that I don't normally gravitate to them in my larger works. Because, they're small, but also they just have very specific, like, doodles and drawings and text and things in them that I don't want in my larger pieces because they're just a little too specific. It doesn't serve the whole in the way that I want it to. But in a sketchbook, it's kind of fun. And also, it's a sketchbook, you can experiment and do weird things that are very low stakes. Low risk. I usually end up liking how my sketchbooks look. Like just as works of art in themselves. Hi, baby girl. My studio assistant coming to check on me. Everything's good. So yeah, when, I'm not only thinking about positive space and negative space, but also like Dahlia's tail. I'm sorry. But I'm also thinking about how the patterns, the colors, the line work and the shapes and everything of the collage pieces are interacting with not only the paint on the page, but each other. So maybe there is a color on a collage piece that's talking to a color in the paint. And maybe there's like a pattern that's talking to a pattern on the page. Maybe there's like one line that's arcing in a certain way that leads into another line on another collage piece, and just kind of like allowing those relationships to happen so that my eye flows through the piece. Yeah. And my final layer is another layer of white paint, just to kind of shape it up and pull it in. Focus the energy. I have to say I love this step, because then I really get to make some decisions. I'm loving how this paint, it's actually, it's actually primer. It's not white paint, because primer is cheaper, to be quite honest. I can buy a lot of it, and I always need a lot of white. I don't know about you, but yeah. So I love how it's like kind of thin. You have to do a lot of layers to get something very opaque, but I can utilize the thinness of it to, like, if I don't want to cover something up completely, but I just want to push it back a little bit, I can add this sort of cloudy, misty layer blended on top to just sort of fade it out. It gives it a lot of depth, I think. So yeah, I think this is almost done. Let's see. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me, stepping into the mind of this artist. And if you enjoyed hanging out with me here on the internets, then please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you're up to, what you thought about this process, anything. I always love to hear from you. So take good care, and I'll see you next time.